Here's how my friend Seth Green recruited a cult of 50 evangelists to promote his business, brand, and message to the world every week for a year. People have this misconception that networking means you have to be sleazy and salesy. It doesn't. In this Steal Our Winners segment, Seth will share with you 5 easy steps to make genuine connections with experts and industry specialists and turn them into your most enthusiastic supporters. And it's called the dream process. Remember to watch till the end for the final reveal of the entire process. The D stands for define. Before you dive into anything, you need to nail down 3 key things. First off, who's your target market? Getting this right is crucial. It's half the battle in any marketing campaign. Once you've pinpointed our target market, take a step back to see the bigger picture. Ask, who influences this group? For instance, if you're a financial advisor targeting baby boomers, they'll likely listen to their accountants or lawyers. Or if you're in college financial aid, perhaps guidance counselors are more likely to influence your audience. Next, figure out where these folks spend their time. If your ideal clients are 80-year-old arthritic widows, you're not going to find them scrolling through TikTok or Snapchat, right? You'd likely have better luck with print ads or direct mail that target readers of things like Arthritis Today or Prevention Magazine. R stands for reach out. After finding out the influencers, you'll want to write reviews for them on all their social media platforms. This is because reviews tend to be taken more seriously than comments. Your goal is to leave a 5-star review in about 3 different places. So what if you haven't bought their product or service? You have to keep it real, don't lie. No wild claims about it being the best ever if you haven't used it, but you can still express your appreciation for whatever it is that they're doing. After you've made your presence known about 6 times in this, it's time for you to send them a direct message. Choosing where to send that message is key. Go where you're most likely to get their attention. If they have a huge following on Facebook but never respond to comments, yet they're more engaged on a smaller platform like LinkedIn, that's where you should reach out. But how can you make sure they do reply? The answer is you have to engage them with an offer to be guests on your podcast. Don't have one yet? Then set up one. You'll conduct the interviews on Zoom. After the interview, you'll transcribe the episode into a long-form SEO-optimized blog post. Your guest will likely share this all over their social media. Think tweets, Facebook posts, LinkedIn updates, emails. They'll probably be thrilled by a 2,000-word blog post all about them. They won't just remember it, they'll want to tell the world. After having done this for a bunch of people, next, you're going to focus on your top 12 ideal influencers, the ones you really want to build a solid relationship with. You'll take those interview transcripts and transform them into something bigger. A book. Not just an ebook, but a physical book, like an Amazon bestseller bookstore book. And since they're featured in it, they'll likely be keen on promoting the book launch too. You'll also provide them with ready-to-go social media content for each part of this journey. But let's take a pause. You're probably thinking, that seems like a lot of effort. And it is, but bear with me here. This is the key to long-lasting business relationships that will open so many doors and opportunities for you. Each of these actions matters, and the payoff will be worth more than whatever you can imagine right now. You'll understand why at the end of this video. So let's continue. By the time you're done dropping these value bombs, you'll have promoted them to the world 5 times before ever asking for anything in return. This builds up so much reciprocity and goodwill that 80% of the time, they're going to approach you first. They'll be like, this is incredible. How can I return the favor? It's just human nature. When someone does so much for them, they naturally want to balance the scales. Of course, you'll ask them to share about your service with their audience. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to agree, simply because of all the goodwill and reciprocity you've built up. But of course, doing this is much more complicated than it sounds. There's a secret sauce in asking the questions in your interviews, so you can lay the groundwork for later deals and further profits. First, let's talk about timing. The most important factor of the secret sauce is the timing of the money question. You should slide it right into the middle of the interview. That's when the guest is relaxed and enjoying themselves, but don't save it for the end, because you don't want them to remember that you asked them. The question is something like this. Given all the success you've achieved, what's your biggest challenge now? See where I'm going with this? In the post-interview follow-up, you would say, hey, thanks so much for the great interview. If I recall, you mentioned XYZ was a challenge for you, right? I've got an idea about that. Are you open to a quick 15-minute chat to go over it? More often than not, they'll agree to meet. In that conversation, you talk about your idea, which often happens to be something you can assist them with. When you do it like this, everything feels natural, not like a sales pitch, and often leads them to ask, can you help me with that? And just like that, you have successfully converted a customer on these follow-up calls. But this is only the tip of the iceberg. The real trump card lies in the next 2 steps. A stands for activate. This is the step where you ask them to share something from you with their audience. It's crucial to choose content that their audience will find valuable. The content could be anything, video, an ebook, a webinar, you name it. The idea is to make it something straightforward for them to share. You'll provide them with a swipe copy, So all they need to do is copy and paste. Remember, you don't want them having to do any work because that'll slow down the process. I'll let Seth talk about how he's doing it in his own business here.
Right now, we have a groundbreaking new ebook out on how to do this. And Dave D and I are doing an ebook swap in March. He's got an ebook he wants me to promote. He's promoting this one. I'm doing what Ted Prodromo from the Guru of LinkedIn. He's promoting mine. I'm promoting his. They might have bigger lists than me. I might have bigger lists than them. That's not the issue because they're not thinking I'm an affiliate. I want commissions because again, this is a relationship I've built. So they think I'm just sharing this because Seth did something, all those awesome things for me. And hey, I get a bonus. He's going to share it with his tribe too and probably have me back on the show again to talk about it. I'm just happy to do it. They're not asking for affiliate links. They're not tracking anything. It's just friendly, but lots of money will happen.
This brings us to the key final step, monetizing. When they share that content with their audience, it steers them your way. Thanks to them, you've got a huge pool of potential customers. And since you were introduced by a trusted expert, you've already earned the trust factor. And from here, you can convert this engagement into sales. That's essentially a concise, simplified recap of the entire 1 hour segment. In the latter part of the interview, we also delved into various challenges and obstacles that people often encounter when applying this strategy.
So what challenges the most, like when you've presented in the past and you spent a lot more time, people generally probably have questions, objections, like why they can't do it. What are they? And make my job easy.
Why can't they do it? It won't work in my industry. My business is different.
Right. Yeah.
I sell X and this won't work for that. So I sell running shoes and this only works for that high ticket stuff. And we've literally done it with products that were $27. You just have to sell more of them. You just need bigger influencers. I've had my industry regulations, my compliance department won't let you do it, which may or may not be true. It just depends. I've had it's too much work. We get that one the most. We get how am I supposed to keep all this straight? If I'm touching 50 people like those 4 or 5 times before I even do the podcast, how do I keep track of what I've done? We get what if I don't have I have no list right now, or I don't have a big list. Everybody I want has a bigger list than me. That's a really common one.
To watch the full interview, click the link below for free access to my Steal Our Winners library. In addition to this interview, I've conducted exciting conversations with industry specialists and experts on recent successful marketing strategies. Click the links at the end of the video to get a taste of those interviews, or you could access the Steal Our Winners library and watch the interviews in full. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights to higher profits and beyond.